The sun blazed. It was a harsh, unforgiving light high above the jagged peaks. Squadron leader Ali Kestrel Khan kept his J-10C Vigorous Dragon on a precise patrol vector. His eyes scanned the limitless blue, a routine sweep. But routine could turn deadly in seconds. Today felt different. A faint, almost imperceptible shimmer caught his attention far to the west. It was not a cloud, it was not a bird. Kestrel's heart rate quickened, just a fraction. He was a hunter, and he sensed prey, or perhaps another predator. The vast emptiness of the sky suddenly felt small, constricting around him. He pushed the J-10C's throttle forward slightly. The Rolls-Royce Spey derivative, the WS-10A Taihang engine, responded with a deeper hum. Sensors on the Vigorous Dragon began to search, to probe. On his main display, a symbol solidified. Unfriendly, definitely unfriendly. A French-built Dassault Rafale. What was it doing here, so far from its usual operational areas? The questions were secondary, the reality was primary. A threat. The atmosphere inside Kestrel's cockpit, moments before cool and controlled, now crackled with an unseen electricity. The silence over the radio was deafening. The Rafale was closing fast. Its pilot, call sign Rapier, must have detected him too, no doubt. This was no accidental meeting. This was an interception, or the prelude to one. Kestrel's grip tightened on the stick. His training kicked in. Years of simulated dogfights, of emergency procedures, of pushing airframes to their limits, all coalesced into this single, razor-sharp moment of focus. He was calm. He was ready. The mountains below seemed to hold their breath, ancient witnesses to the drama unfolding miles above their snow-dusted crowns. The sky was a canvas, and they were about to paint a masterpiece of aerial combat. The distance between them shrank with terrifying speed. Two technological marvels, each representing the pinnacle of their nation's aerospace engineering, hurtled towards a confrontation. There were no words exchanged. None needed. The language of combat pilots is universal. It is spoken in maneuvers, in radar locks, in the subtle shifts of an aircraft's attitude. Kestrel watched the Rafale grow from a speck to a distinct shape, its delta wings and canards a familiar, formidable silhouette. The initial dance was about to begin. The first move would be critical. The azure sky waited. The Chengdu J-10C Vigorous Dragon, operated by the Pakistan Air Force, is a formidable machine. It is a multi-role fighter, agile and packed with advanced technology. Its airframe, a delta wing and canard configuration, provides exceptional maneuverability, especially at high angles of attack. Kestrel knew his aircraft intimately. He trusted its fly-by-wire system. The heart of its offensive capability lay in its AESA active electronically scanned array radar. This system offered superior detection range and tracking capabilities against multiple targets. It could resist jamming effectively, and it carried the deadly PL-15 long-range air-to-air missile, a weapon that significantly outranged many of its contemporaries. The Dassault Rafale, on the other side of this invisible line, is a twin-engine Canard Delta wing multi-role fighter aircraft. Designed and built by Dassault Aviation of France, it is a combat-proven platform. The Rafale is known for its omni-role capabilities, able to perform air supremacy, interdiction, reconnaissance, and even nuclear deterrence missions. Its Spectra integrated electronic warfare suite provided excellent situational awareness and self-defense. The Rafale typically carried a potent mix of Mica and Meteor air-to-air missiles. Rapier, in the French cockpit, would be confident in his machine's power and sophisticated systems, especially its renowned electronic countermeasures. Comparing these two titans reveals a fascinating study in modern aerial warfare philosophy. The J-10C, a newer design, benefits from recent advancements in Chinese avionics and weapon systems, particularly the PL-15's extended reach, giving it a first-shot advantage. Its agility is a key asset in a within-visual range engagement. The Rafale, while an older airframe design, has undergone continuous upgrades. Its twin-engine configuration offers redundancy and excellent thrust-to-weight ratio. Its Spectra system is legendary for its ability to detect, classify, and jam threats, a crucial factor in surviving modern air combat scenarios where unseen missiles are the primary killers. The encounter was more than just two pilots and two machines. It represented a clash of doctrines, of technological pathways. The J-10C, a symbol of Pakistan's modernizing air defense against the Rafale, a cornerstone of French air power and a successful export fighter. The stakes were incredibly high, not just for the pilots, but for the prestige and perceived capabilities of their respective air forces and the nations they represented. This was not just a duel, it was a test of skill, of technology, of nerve. The outcome would send ripples far beyond this isolated patch of sky. Kestrel made the first aggressive move. He did not hesitate. He pulled the J-10C into a punishing high-G climbing turn. The G-forces pressed him deep into his seat, his G-suit inflated, fighting the rush of blood from his head. He aimed to gain an altitude advantage and to gauge Rapier's reaction. The Vigorous Dragon responded beautifully, its canards biting into the thin air. He needed to dictate the terms of this engagement. He would not allow the Rafale pilot to take the initiative. This was his sky today. The maneuver was designed to force Rapier onto the defensive immediately. Rapier saw the J-10C's sudden aggressive climb. He reacted instantly. His Rafale, agile in its own right, banked hard. He deployed a cloud of chaff and flares, trying to break any potential radar lock, trying to confuse the J-10C's sensors. The French pilot was skilled, no doubt about that. He knew his aircraft's limits. He tried to use the Rafale's twin engines to power out of the J-10C's threatening position. But Kestrel was anticipating this. He was a step ahead. The Rafale's defensive maneuvers were textbook, but Kestrel had studied those textbooks. He was writing a new chapter. Kestrel's skill was now on full display. He didn't just fly the J-10C, he was part of it, an extension of its will. He used the J-10C's superior thrust-to-weight ratio in the climb initially, then transitioned. He adjusted his vector with minute, precise inputs. He kept the Rafale in his sights, not with his eyes, but with the unwavering gaze of his ESA radar. He read Rapier's desperate twists and turns. Each defensive barrel roll, each jink, each attempt to dive away was met with a countermove from the J-10C. Kestrel was a master chess player, thinking several moves ahead, forcing Rapier into an increasingly desperate position. The dynamics of the dogfight were breathtaking. Two specks of grey against the vast blue, twisting, turning, climbing, diving. Muck cones flickered around them as they pushed through the sound barrier. The roar of their engines, though unheard by each other, would have deafened anyone on the ground miles below. Contrails painted ephemeral, deadly patterns across the sky. It was a lethal ballet, a dance of death performed at hundreds of knots. Kestrel remained focused. He was patient. He was waiting for the perfect moment, the moment when Rapier would make one small mistake, one that Kestrel could exploit. The moment arrived. Rapier, in a desperate attempt to shake the relentless J-10C, pulled his Rafale into an overly aggressive vertical maneuver. For a fraction of a second, his energy state bled off more than he intended. He exposed his aircraft. Kestrel saw it. His thumb moved to the weapons control panel. He selected the PL-15. The long-range air-to-air missile. Its reputation preceded it. Kestrel acquired a solid lock. The tone in his headset was unwavering. Clear. Fox 3, Kestrel called, almost a whisper to himself. The missile detached from the J-10C's hardpoint. The rocket motor ignited with a fierce, brilliant glare. The PL-15, a dual-pulse rocket motor missile, accelerated with incredible speed. It was a streak of white fury against the blue. It climbed towards the struggling Rafale. Rapier's RWR, radar warning receiver, would be screaming a frantic alarm. He would see the missile launch indication. He threw his Rafale into the most violent, evasive maneuvers he could manage. Dumping more chaff, more flares, he pushed his aircraft to and beyond its structural limits. But the PL-15 was not an ordinary missile. Its own active radar seeker was locked on. It was too fast, too agile, too smart. The Rafale's attempts to outmaneuver it were futile. The impact was devastating, precise. The PL-15's warhead detonated exactly as designed. A bright orange flash briefly illuminated the sky, followed by a bloom of black smoke. The Rafale, a marvel of engineering, was torn apart. Debris scattered, tumbling end over end towards the desolate mountains below. There was no second chance, no escape. The PL-15 had done its job with ruthless efficiency. The advanced seeker and the sheer kinematic performance of the missile had proven superior. Rapier's skill and the Rafale's defenses were not enough against this particular threat on this day. Kestrel watched the aftermath. His breathing was steady. He performed a slow victory roll, a salute to a fallen opponent, and a testament to his aircraft. The J-10C Vigorous Dragon, guided by a skilled pilot and armed with superior weaponry, had asserted its dominance. He reported the engagement, calmly, professionally. The sky, moments before a theatre of intense combat, was quiet again. Only the fading contrails and the distant falling remnants of the Rafale marked what had occurred. The tactical superiority of the J-10C, and specifically its PL-15 armament, had been unequivocally demonstrated. The Dragon had roared,